Okay, I think I'm live. Well, there it is. I do have a counter. Cool. So I don't know why I don't do YouTube live often. I don't do it often enough. I definitely don't talk to you guys live often enough. It's been way too long. I've done a couple vlogs here and there, but nothing really for a couple months. Just minors, as minor as it can be. Mostly because I've just been really busy. These past couple months have just been a real drag. And of course, with minimal reward because I'm working an IT job. I'm working a tech job. I have been for 6 years, and it's all for minimum wage. And there's definitely a job that would pay much higher in any other state. I'm in California, so there's just nothing. There's no work here. I'm not going to get into that yet. So a bit of an intro. Hey guys, I'm Evilzombie. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be less lively of a video than others. I just kind of want to get real and chat with you guys for a little bit because I don't just get to talk to you guys that often, and I like it. I love to listen to your comments. I love to go through and read them. I go through and read them again and again. Anytime I get a response from someone, it's the coolest thing in the world. I like it, and I give it heart and everything. And I read all the comments. I mean, I only get one comment maybe a week. I really don't get that many comments, so I absolutely love it whenever I do. Hey, someone's watching! Holy crap! 2 people are watching! Holy crap! But today I just wanted to kind of get real with you guys because, as you know, whenever I talk to you guys on a vlog, I'm always going to be completely honest, completely open. And since this is live, you already know there's not going to be any editing anything out. Any shit I say is just going to be just how it is because I have no filter right now. I've been drinking a little bit. My filter's gone. It's kaput. So I just kind of want to tell you what's been on my heart, what's been on my mind. Yeah, I've just been every once in a while since I was in high school, since I was in middle school a long time ago. I've gone through I've had clinical depression. It comes and goes, and it's not really anything I can stop. Hey, dude, thanks for jumping in. Just kind of wanted to chat a little bit. Thanks for jumping in, man. At Nickel Hydra. Something I've dealt with for all my life. I've done some things haven't. I'm not on any medication right now. I feel sick with any kind of depression medication, and it makes you feel like shit. It's just not worth it. So the only real thing that ever works is just, of course, right now while I'm doing live, I have a whole motorcycle gang go by my house right outside my window. Wow, what is the timing of that? How often does that happen in a very deserted desert town? I turned on a live stream and I have like 10 motorcycles go by. Oh, wow. Oh, it's buffering. Do you hear me? Let me double check. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. Is it better now? Hopefully it's a little better. I just turned off my virtual private network, my VPN. But yeah, it was funny. Just a second ago, as I started talking, all of a sudden a whole bunch of motorcycles went by right outside my window, and I'm like, "Wow, when does that happen in the desert?" But yeah, I'm going through a little bit in life recently. Just wanted to talk to you guys about it. It's nothing major. I have some fun plans that I have coming up soon. I have some just general life that I've been dealing with. I just kind of wanted to vent because this channel, awesome. I'm just replying to a comment. This recently life's just been kind of building on me because for like 6 years I've been working in a minimum wage job, and it shouldn't be a minimum wage job. It only is because I live in California near LA. That's the only reason this job isn't paying what it should. And it's an IT job. I have my bachelor's degree in programming. I mean I know that doesn't mean shit. It doesn't actually owe you anything. Life doesn't owe you anything. But I mean I've been working in a tech job that should pay twice its amount for years. Still minimum wage, and it's just not going to go up because this town's got nothing. And I don't know, life's just been kind of dragging on me because I got 2 kids and it's just been crazy. So that's been the big thing that I've been dealing with recently. Other than that, though, my wife's been really helping me out a lot with everything. Has been really supportive. That's been great. And my kids, we've been doing our best just to always make sure they have whatever they need. So After bills, got the kids, and then we just kind of scrape by on whatever we can afterwards, you know? That's just life. No, there's been no raise. I'm at bare minimum wage. I've been doing IT work for 6 years and minimum wage. California, that's $14 an hour right now because they keep boosting up the cost of living. Like gas is $5 a gallon right now in our town. Yeah, you can't survive on minimum, but me and my wife are both working minimum right now in different jobs. And with 2 kids, it's crazy. I mean, I hate California. That's just me because I grew up here and I've always been in a desert. She loves it because she was in the Philippines and California, coming to the States, going to the Hollywood area, being near the beach. That was always kind of the dream. Culturally, they just see a lot of the movies, and then it becomes just kind of a big thing like, oh, we wish we could go there kind of thing. So now that I'm here, I can't take her away from the area, you know? It just kind of becomes a thing where you just kind of figure out how to deal with it. But California, there's no way to ever get any kind of advancement. That just doesn't happen. A quick cheers. Sláinte. I have the day off today, so why not? If they're watching a movie right now, they're just having fun watching a movie about, oh, what the hell is it about? It's an anime about a girl that transforms into a cat after wanting to switch her face with a person so that she could become a cat. I don't know. It's a little confusing. I can't remember what it was called. Keep telling my kids they should watch Neko no Gaishi, The Cat Returns. That's a fun movie. I don't have it in English. But maybe they'll catch on. I mean, Japanese isn't that hard. It's a kids movie, so it's kind of easy to understand. I mean, I speak Japanese, but they're pretty young. I think they could bounce into it pretty fast. Not my older daughter though. Her first language was Visayan, and she spoke a little Tagalog, and then had to learn English as a second language. She could probably learn Japanese. Yeah, actually, it's Neko no Gaishi was pretty cool. It feels a lot like a Studio Ghibli film, but the one they're watching right now, I think they're watching a Funimation. I can't remember what it was called for the life of me. I'll have to ask them in a minute. But they're having a pretty good time. They watched that movie at least 7 times so far. It's like every time a new zombie movie comes out for me, if something cute comes out for them, they will watch it over and over and over again. Like for me, Shaun of the Dead, I saw it in the theater, and oh man, shit, I saw it like 9 times in the theater. My goodness. And then that was a movie. And then 7 times I saw Dawn of the Dead in 2004 in the theater. And Godzilla 2000, forget about it. I lost track of how many times I saw that one in the theater. So my kids are like me. They'll watch the same movie over and over and over again. They are seriously the light of my life. Like the entire reason I can keep going every single day, and just dealing with everything that happens throughout the day, or just the fact that nothing's ever going to change from where it's at right now. It's just always, that's just kind of where I'm at. It feels kind of like I'm always here. They are the light of my life and the entire reason I can keep going. That's a way I'm a bit lucky. I got them, you know? Oh, Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, dude. Shaun of the Dead it's the shit. I'm back before I was even 18. I was like later on in high school, or like mid high school back then when that came out, and I was the only one in my group that looked old enough to not need to be carded. Yeah, I never needed to be carded to go into the theater for that one, and I got all my friends into the movie for that one. So like every week I would just be like, "Hey guys, come on, we're gonna go watch Sean. We're gonna go memorize the script," and we would all just crowd into the theater. I'd buy all the tickets. They'd all give me their money, and I would just get them all in. We'd have like 10 people in our group. We'd go see the movie. They were all like 15, 16. I think I was about 16 at that time. Yeah, we all saw the movie over and over and over and over again. And we can all quote about half of that movie by now. Oh, that movie was pure gold. I swear. There's nothing better than just his style of humor. Simon Pegg is just pure genius. Oh yeah, it was great. Loaded up on popcorn, obsessed with popcorn, by the way. I still make it like every week. Theater did that to me. Bad choices. Always good. And I know I'm getting old now because I reminisce on the past a little bit. I think that's a clear sign of aging, and the fact that I can't bend over without going, "Ugh." I pick something up, that's the sound that seems to just kind of come out automatically, or a pop or 2. I know, it's a little concerning, but luckily, thanks to genetics, I'm not gonna look any different than this for the next 20 years. My dad did not age a day from, like, 40 till he got to 70. It's crazy. He looked exactly the same. You can look at pictures, and nobody will be able to tell you what year that picture was taken. So, hopefully, I get his genetics on that, and my hair doesn't disappear anymore. My mom's side, all the hair's always gone, but luckily, they were younger than me when they lost the hair, so I'm pretty much just gonna look like this for the next 20, 30 years, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm actually kinda looking forward to that with genetics, you know? It's the one plus side. Oh, man. This channel is probably like, I was just thinking on all the things in life that kind of pick me up, help me be able to vent and all that. I normally am the kind of person that, keeps things to myself a lot. I internalize a lot of stress, I internalize a lot of anything. I normally get it out through working out or punching a bag for an hour or any of those ways or playing Doom. Doom is a good one. Honestly, not gonna lie, I play a lot of Doom. A lot more than anyone should. Every Doom game I have like 90 to 100 something hours and I love it. Doom is good. It's my happy place. But there's really no way for me to vent because I don't want to sit there and complain to my wife or complain to my kid. I can't talk about any of this to my kids, of course, because they won't know what depression is. And that's just not cool to bring on your kids. Your kids should only know that life is looking forward and that there's opportunities for them. Yeah, me too. I almost was a couple years ago. Not gonna lie. Like, as I said in the beginning, I will never hide anything from you guys on my channel. Always be straight out and honest. This is exactly how I vent and how I can get whatever I hold inside to the outside. I honestly did try and end myself a few years ago. And luckily, through the grace of God, I don't know if you're a believer or not, won't judge, won't ask, anything like that, but I'm a Christian. Luckily, through the grace of God, I did not. I don't know how. I tried and I don't know how, but I was still here the next day. And I just am taking that as a sign because there's no medical way I should have been, but I was. And that scared me enough where I just decided I would keep going no matter what. I was like, what, 4 years ago, something like that? Got really low, but I'm not on any medication, like I said. And yeah, after that, I made a different podcast trying to help tell people different things they can try to keep on going to improve their life. That was the Surviving Depression podcast. And hopefully that helps somebody out there because I just want to help somebody. But after that, I just started trying to focus more on where my life should be, the kids. But that was a dark time. I don't know. I just my when my wife was helping out her aunt who was going over the death of her husband. She went over there for like a couple months at a time. Was just gone for most of that year. And then, a lot of the time it was just me because like, the kids went with her on the trip, and it was mostly just me for a couple of months, and it was just apparently when I'm alone, like, I don't know how I survived through high school and college because apparently when I'm alone, my mind just spirals, and it's not healthy. Rewind. Oh, yeah. Oh, I have to press on show on this. So I have it set for automatically flag things for review whenever something's more so. Whenever something's a little more pushing the border, I have it set to review. Yeah, for me, it was trying to mix far too much whiskey with different kinds of medications that should technically stop your heart entirely. But then I looked into it, and my genetics um, pretty much just don't let a lot of medications work on me unless I have a very high dose. That was partially what it was because a lot of things just don't work on me. Like with ibuprofen, I'll have to have 1,600 milligrams before it does anything. Like 800 milligram pills of ibuprofen don't do shit. They don't touch crap. So I was trying whiskey with Xanax and a pretty high dosage. I don't remember how much, but I didn't count it. It was a lot. So yeah, that was the basic way I was trying to do it, where it would basically just stop the heart and you would just cease. Now, normally that would have worked, and my body is the kind that doesn't let you throw up. I never throw up. I never vomit. I even unless I'm very, very ill, like ridiculously so. Like if I have a very bad illness, I might throw up, but I never throw up from drinking. Never. I'll just sit there and feel sick. I won't ever get to that limit where my body says I need to get rid of this. That was the only time I've thrown up in like 20 years. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that was like the one time my body was just like, no, didn't expect it. But that I'm still here. Yeah, 20 feet might do that. It's Yeah, sometimes life can really get to you, and I understand. Like, normal, I wasn't in my right state of mind because you don't do that if you're in the right state of mind. It's just not possible because your brain normally has a limiter on it where you can't hurt yourself willingly. Um, just like outright say I'm going to hurt myself. It just doesn't normally work like that. But when your mind is going spiraling, 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 I've noticed that I just let's see, I could only do that if I've already delved down so deep. Good to have someone that's understood this and kind of gone through the same thing I have. I understand it completely. And then I understood afterwards just how selfish I was being and that I was just thinking to myself. That's why I decided to dedicate more time to my kids after. And I have to be right back. I really have to. Number one. Number one. Yeah, look for that. Cat returns. Oh, I have it on the computer. I'll copy it over later. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about disappearing for a minute. Where was I? Question statute. That's about where I was. You know, it actually does help a lot to have something like a channel to be able to just kind of vent to. And then another thing I started doing was just kind of building up projects and trying to make different things. Like one of them was the Dungeons and Dragons table. Oh, good for you, dude. And for me, it was since I was a kid, and that's how long I've been a believer for years. I was kind of raised up in it. My dad was not by any means for years, and then he suddenly did, and his life just changed. It's the greatest thing in the world. Really, once you, yeah, it can really impact you when under the right circumstances. How much things just suddenly change and how much it affects you. But yeah, what was I talking about before? About how selfish I was being. I think basically I started at that time. I think I kind of started thinking of when I was ending it. I was being selfish in my mind because, well, I wasn't thinking about the kids. I wasn't thinking about my wife, what they would get back to. It just didn't even occur in my mind. My brain was just spiraling down, almost like a voice kind of in the back of your head saying, "You're not good enough. You won't make it. You can't get any farther. This is always going to be the same." And, well, of course, it was wrong because these moments don't happen all the time. And I'm not always down like that. When I'm feeling good, then life is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I have a good life. I mean, money aside, the rest of life is fantastic, and my family loves me. I just start getting like that if I'm alone and I just start dwelling. If I start dwelling, I don't take the time to pray. I don't take the time to improve myself in any way. If I don't take the time to talk it out, and a lot of times I just sit in my own head, and you might not see a video for a couple days. I'm probably just all in self doubt and just sitting here hating myself. I'm pretty self critical, but a lot of us are. A lot of bad crap happens, and we just end up just punishing ourselves for it for no reason at all. And there's no reason to be like that. I get it now, but whenever I'm feeling down, like recently I've been feeling kind of down. I haven't really delved super far down because my kids have been home every single day all day because summer. So I've been around people a lot more often. And it's given me time to say, I'll think about something else later. I'll think about that later. And I just kind of carry through with spending time with them and trying to hang out more, which I think is probably the most healthy thing. If you're feeling like you don't want to be around people, yeah, you sit and contemplate life and it's not healthy. I understand completely. I do that so much. You just feel like, yeah, I've told my wife that, and she's like, that's just Satan talking to you in the back of your mind, which kind of makes sense. Because some people would say, oh, that's just being crazy. No, it might just, he wants to have you turn. So he wants to make you doubt and make you feel like nothing is helping you in life. And when that happens, you feel alone, and that's when you're weakest. Actually, kind of reminds me of Harry Potter. There's a there's a analogy. Is it analogy? I think so. Or what's the word? I can't remember. Story. A reference in Harry Potter where they're saying, if I wanted you to be at your weakest, I would make you feel alone. I think Luna Lovegood says it to Harry. But it's true. It's very true. If you're alone, yep, very true. Thank you, Mr. Twinkie. Another person. But yeah, it's very true. When you just sit and dwell, then you just kind of poison your own mind. And I've done that plenty. I mean, I am pretty much incapable at this point of seeing myself in the mirror with my shirt off and enjoying anything. My mind doesn't let me view it in my body in any good way. My wife says I look fine. I physically can't see it. Like that's literally a mental block. And I understand that in my head, but I don't know how to undo it. Like, even when I lost all the weight, like, I lost a bunch of weight and I was down to, like, what, 13% body fat, and I knew that physically, scientifically, there was not very much fat on me. All I saw was fat. I couldn't see anything else. I still was disgusted with myself. Was absolutely punishing myself with workouts. Like, I'd get ready to go to the bench, smack myself, start the bench, and then look down, pinch it, and then keep on going because I just felt like I was disgusted and just not making it. Like, no matter what I do, I just couldn't push through to make things better in any sense of life. And then, of course, and luckily, one thing I don't do that my dad did, I drink a little bit, but I enjoy the taste of it. I don't like to get drunk. So that's not really an escape for me. This is not my method of escape. My only method of escape really is talking on the channel, which I think is at least pretty healthy. Because I enjoy the taste of whiskey, but I won't. And that's the only alcoholic beverage I really drink. But I don't like to drink to actually get drunk. I don't enjoy the feeling of not being in complete control of my mental faculties. More or less, that's just kind of how I enjoy my mind being set. Um, if I'm drinking socially and I have a bunch of friends and we're around good company, I might have a couple too many, but that's about as far as I'll go. Other than that, it's just me dwelling on it. And I'm really happy I have you guys because this is this is like my life. Exactly what when being alone with your thoughts so long, you can punish yourself. Yeah, it doesn't do anything good when you punish yourself, but I'll tend to do that. Like there have been times where I've been alone in the house for if it's a couple days, if I'm just alone or if I'm working all day, come home and my wife's already left for work and it's just me alone because the kids just went to bed and I'm just alone at night. Then I will just my mind just plummets. Yeah, no, drinking to be happy doesn't work. I mean, you can literally sober up again in, like, 2 hours, it's not gonna work. Oh, yeah, the body fat. I mean, I know physically, scientifically, what's it called? My actual measurements, I know I don't have that much as much body fat as I think I do, but in my brain, ever since, like, high school, I've always felt like it. I mean, I know I do love to eat. I love food. I mean, food is an absolute joy to me. I hate chicken breast, but I have to eat it a lot. I honestly do hate it. But yeah, I know I don't have as much body fat as I think I do because I'm right around the 15% right now, 15 to 16%. I know that's below average, or at least right in the average, you know. But yeah, I honestly sometimes if I'm just alone long enough, that's one of the things where it'll be in the back of my mind, like you're never gonna lose this weight. You're always gonna be in this position. You're never gonna get anywhere. Like I've had so many different careers. I've had so many different jobs at this point. I've gotten my full bachelor's degree. I've gone to school. I've done engineering on military grade circuit boards. I've done what's it called? Um, I've actually worked on like AAA quality games and could never make it back into the industry because it's such an unforgiving industry here in California. Anything in California is just ridiculous. Then I almost start thinking, and then I've done IT work. I've done engineering. I've done blueprints for like big roller coasters at Six Flags. I've done a lot of cool things, but I know that if I went anywhere, like I keep on telling myself it would get better if I know it wouldn't make a difference when I sit and think about it, you know, because really, and everyone thinks the grass is always green on the other side. And then I just remember the old saying, same shit, different day, or, you know, like grass is green on the other side, the same thing where you look in when you get there, it's the same grass. They have it all planted the same way. There might be a few brown patches. It's the same crap. No matter what state you're in, you're going to be in the same situation. No matter what country, it's the same situation. Everyone's controlled, and there's just no jobs out there because the world is going through the same crap. So it just brings me right back in the circle, you know, where you start thinking, hey, no matter where I go, it really is just going to be like this. And there's just nothing you can do. Like I'm trying to sell as much as I can to see if I can get some extra money, but that doesn't work, you know. But at the end of the day, it's just praying and enjoying the time I get with my kids because with little, even very little money, I'm able to at least get some good enjoyment out of that. Like I was teaching my daughter to ride her bike today. That was fantastic. And we were just enjoying our time together. So that's probably the best thing about my life right now. All the time I get with my kids, the best thing about my life. They are, like I said earlier in the video, they're the light of my life. There's nothing better in life for me than my children. Well, and my wife, of course, she's a blessing and she's like the strongest person I know. Like, if you compare me in any way to Goku, then my wife is Chi Chi. Hands down, personality wise, everything. My wife is Chi Chi from Dragon Ball Z. Everything. Her exact personality, the way she wants the kids to study, everything. It's ridiculous. Like, I only noticed this years later when I was watching through Dragon Ball Z again on a gigantic 291 episode marathon after I finished my 176 episode long marathon through Dragon Ball. And then I was like, oh shit, I married Chi Chi. I found my waifu. Yeah, so she's my rock. And if anything happened to her, I don't even know what I would do. It's just, yeah, nothing would be the same, you know? But I know that's also not a healthy way of thinking because after my dad passed last year, my mom was crushed because my dad was her rock. So I try in my mind not to let myself be as dependent, but I don't know how to avoid it, you know? Because I know I'm supposed to be, but I don't know to how much extent I'm supposed to depend on my wife, at least emotionally, through support. Sorry, I hear my kids yelling. No, that's playful yelling. We're good. I think I remember hearing about Arnold Schwarzenegger making a good speech. I'll have to look that up. I remember hearing about that. Okay, I'll have to look that up and see what it says. Yeah, you really do have to. you do have to take life in strides. There's no way to take it all at once. It just kind of builds up on you, you know? I mean, it's because they were in Iraq too. Yeah. Teaching to ride a bike was the only good memories I have with them. Sorry, it takes me a minute to read anything because I'm not wearing my glasses. I'm very stubborn. I should be wearing my glasses because I can't read crap without them. I just can't. This is why I have a 43-inch monitor in front, or I have a 43-inch TV for my monitor, so that I can avoid wearing my glasses and I can read games because I hate wearing glasses. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's actually one of the things. One of my big goals to hopefully give my kids good memories with me. You know, like just being able to go around and do stuff with my kids and just having them enjoy things, having them just enjoy their time with me whenever I go hang out with them or whenever we go do stuff. Like one of the things I'm going to have my daughters help me with soon is putting up the crap. Like just off to the side of the camera here, I have a lot of memory of acoustic foam. And I do mean a lot. I have 96 square feet of acoustic foam just to the side of me here. Maybe I can show you that. Sorry about the noise for the microphone. That's all going to go behind me. It's going to be good. Oh, I have a picture. I have a picture. I have a picture. Oh, shit. I need to show you this. I need to show you this. Do I have it on my phone? Oh, shit. I don't. Crap. It's on my drive. Where's my Google Drive? I need to show you this. Oh, you're going to. I was looking at different patterns to use for the acoustic foam. And I think you're going to like this. Okay. So I was honestly thinking of the top, this one over here. That's what I was thinking of, or this one for the acoustic foam. It's all red and black. This wall behind me is 10 foot by 8 foot. So I have it all actually measured out to what it should be nice. It should be like. I'm gonna have my kids help me out with it, and this they can have it. They get to pick basically which pattern they like. I'm cool with all of them. I think that'll be just a kind of fun memory thing because they're gonna come in here and yell and scream all the time. Anyways, they're gonna have some fun because they enjoy spending time and it's fun. Oh, I see. Sorry to hear about that, Nicolai. Yeah, some parents can sometimes just let the stress get to them. As a dad, I understand. It's not okay. I'm not saying it's okay. No, I can get where he might just not know how to deal with it properly. That's on him, definitely. But I'm happy that you have some good memories, though. That's good. Those are the times hopefully you can remember more than anything else. You know, my dad passed mostly, partially because he was really old. He was 78 when he passed, not too just last year. And he was also very sick with a rare disease for like 5 years, so in his last 2 years, he just couldn't do much, at all. But he was really strong for surviving it because he used to be a Marine. I guess they say once a Marine, always a Marine. And so we put the flag up out front in honor of him. We still do that. And yeah, hopefully you just hold on to the memories that you love about him 'cause, whenever he's gone. I don't know how old he is or anything like that, but those are the times you should always hold on to because those are the times they were in their right mind, hopefully, and the times he was actively trying to do good. But stress does get to us all and it makes us do terrible things. I understand. It's not good. Not acknowledging anything is good for not being good behavior. Yeah, 78. He was old and he was a Marine. He did a lot of crap in his life. He used to repossess cars. He actually got kicked out of a state. I don't know what he did, but he's banned from entering, like, Ohio. He was banned from entering Ohio, and he wouldn't tell any of us why, but he was outright banned from the state. He was in the gangs when he was younger, and he used to he used to be a car salesman, got into circuit boards. That's how I kinda got my first engineering job. Um, yeah, he used to, what's it called? He used to do, manufacturing for circuit boards, and then he got into, like, the vice president of the company thing. And then he just kind of stayed there for the rest of his life until he got sick. He's kind of forced into retirement around 72, 73. Didn't really want to. He got sick. But I honestly don't remember any times with my dad until he got sick, because I didn't see him. He always worked. He worked down in the city, which is a couple hours away from where I am, and I honestly don't remember, like, him at all, except for on the weekend, he would be outside working because the house had work that needed to be done or there was a pipe burst, which those times I'd go help him with. I remember helping him a lot in the yard, splitting wood, things like that, digging holes, putting up fences, building structures for chickens, horses, all that. There was a lot of work to be done. He worked a lot, but all my memories, he worked until it was already dark at nighttime, and I only had a little time before bed, and then all the way through my childhood. So I only really remember when he was sick or older and he couldn't do much. But then we would sit and watch a couple movies together, a couple old movies. Those are the basic memories I still have with him. But those are the things I remember most. So in the future, in like 20 years, 30 years, when it does happen, then hopefully those are the things you hold on to. And I'll be praying for it, man. Because that's the best way to remember someone, the things that they would treasure about you as well, you know? Let's just remember him, the family. Yeah, it's all about staying strong for them. And if so, like the family, I like to look at it, it's kind of a chain. My kids are ridiculously strong. My daughter is a rock iron will, and that's a good thing. She built that from her mother. And my other daughter, she cries, she leans on her sister more for strength, which is good. They're a perfect pair because each one has personality traits that the other doesn't, and they're a good pairing. And my wife is, like I told you earlier, my wife is Chi Chi. Chi Chi from Dragon Ball Z is my wife. Every personality trait, every action, every way she treats the family, or even the cooking, it's ridiculous. I see my ways and how I have watched Dragon Ball Z a lot growing up. Apparently I have a type. Because it's true. She hasn't watched Dragon Ball Z yet, but when she does, my daughter, I got her to watch all the way up through the in the middle of the Majin Buu saga now. She's like, "That's mama." And I'm like, "I know." So that always makes me laugh, but that's just one of those things that I think is fantastic. The cool thing is she's my best friend. That's one of the pieces of marriage advice I always give people. If you ever want to have a successful marriage, don't marry someone just because they're really attractive and you love them. Marry someone because you could see yourself always being with them and never getting bored because they are your best friend. So if you marry someone that is your best friend that you always enjoy hanging out with, you always look forward to seeing again because you always have stuff in common, you want to talk, you want to do stuff together, that's who you marry because that will be the most successful marriage. You have a lot in common. You understand how each other's mind works because you've already built up a good bond. That's honestly the best piece of marriage advice I can give anybody. Just marry your best friend. Marry the person that will continue to be your best friend after marriage. Like anything you do with them, or you include them because that's also kind of their interest, even if you don't have the same interest. My wife doesn't play video games because a lot like me, she has an addiction to games problem. Like, I introduced her to plants like, she doesn't play games at all because of this. Like, she just did the opposite of me. She just said, "I'm not gonna play games because I have a problem." But she didn't play any games for years. When she was still in the Philippines, I introduced her to Plants vs. Zombies, and I got her a netbook, and I put the game on there for her, and I was like, "Oh, you'll love this game. It's fun. It's pretty catchy." And she definitely accomplished a lot more than I ever did in that game. She accomplished every little thing you could possibly do in the game, all the way up to filling up the entire tree and everything. She mastered the entire game. And then any other like Zombieville USA completely conquered that sucker. Got into like the high 80s or something for the level she got to for getting the characters to run through. Like she obsesses and won't do anything else in life if she gets into a game. Oh, and sweet fucking mercy, I cannot play Mortal Kombat with her because she will get so mad. Like, she's into it. So, but yeah, the whole best friend thing, you know? It's definitely like, we have a lot in common. We're both very competitive, and I have to back off a little bit sometimes if there's a game that I just happen to have more experience in because I might regret what happens later after if I win. But it's fine. We have a good time. We play together and we watch all the same movies. But it doesn't come down to having the same hobbies. Like the anime that she watches is nothing like what I watch. Like she'll watch Cardcaptor Sakura, and I'll watch Dragon Ball Z or Ghost Hunt. Completely different stuff. And we still get along fine because our personalities are they're kind of similar, but it just comes down to we're the best friends. A couple years we did like a whole online thing for long distance, and we just kind of bonded by talking and not doing anything else for 2 solid years. We got engaged, of course, got married and all that. But yeah, it just comes down to your friend. And that is where I got my rock. She is my rock. I don't know what I would do without her. I would probably not be here anymore. And yeah, that's a good honest truth. I probably wouldn't be here anymore. And without that, I'm happy I have my kids because they're each just an anchor that keeps me weighted down into life and helps me just keep going. There are some games I'm bad at. There are some games I just cannot play. I cannot play a simulator game or any kind of RTS game. I suck at RTS games. Racing games, unless it's Diddy Kong Racing, I suck at it. I mean, Sonic is the closest I can get to a racing game, and I'm good at Sonic games, but that's it. I mean, that's it. 1 second, guys. I'm gonna refill my thing back here. It's been a little bit. She got me that barrel, by the way. And yes, that's a Domo. Oh man, if you look at my really old videos, like all the way back to the beginning, back it was like 2007 or some crap. I've been doing YouTube for a long time. But way back then, I used to cosplay at Anime Expo and Anime LA at Makomi Con. I used to go to conventions dressed as Domo-kun. Yes, that Domo-kun. Yeah, it's a little keg. It's a little barrel. I age my whiskey in there. Sometimes if I'm lazy, I'll just get a little bit out of there. But I like to age my whiskey in there. I'll leave it in there for months at a time. But yeah, it's just a cheap little tiny barrel. Has a little spout and everything. It's the coolest thing. She got me that for Christmas like last year. No, 2 years ago. Because I had some Jameson in there all year last year, and then I had it at the end of the year, and it was so good. The taste was so rich. I loved it. So good. And then she got me like a nice little leather, what's it called? Like a little leather flask that has like deer on it and stuff like that right next to it. Really cool. Gives me cool things. And she puts up with all this Dungeons and Dragons stuff that I got going on because I'm obsessive. My way of avoiding depression as much as I can is honestly hobbies. A lot of it's hobbies. Yeah, dude. When you can drink responsibly, of course. Um, get one of those. It's pretty nifty and it's a nice little decoration. Like that's why I have the nice wooden shelf here, and it just goes with my like I have my crystal whiskey glasses in here with the stones and everything in the box next to it, and then a leather coated pouch, and I have like that's actually a paddle that has holes for my a certain fitted whiskey cups. Like I just have kind of the whole set there. I even have some pewter mugs right there. They look like solid metal cups and everything. And it's kind of I like to have things themed. Like if I aim the camera up, there's Godzilla's lined all the way across. Over there, Godzilla's lined all the way across. Over here, Godzilla's lined all the way. Like this figure right here, that's not the end of it. There's like 30 of them right there. I have one for each movie. Oh, I know there's a lot. I know that's a mistake in saying there's 40 movies. If you technically count all the movies that were different enough in the English translation to count as their own movies. As you can tell, I'm an obsessive fan. I There's no limit to how much I will obsess and talk about Godzilla. So I'll try not to because I will not stop. The hobbies, that was my point. Hobbies are honestly my personal escape and medication from depression. If I start delving too deep, sometimes I will read through a whole nice geeky book. Like that's basically how I got through the entire Harry Potter series. I loved it. Um, Sometimes I'll just have Lord of the Rings play in the background. By the way, on YouTube there is an audiobook for The Hobbit. It's only 2.5 hours long. A quick read, and it's actually pretty good. Just mentioning it. Or of course, Dungeons and Dragons. All those are Dungeons and Dragons books. There's a guitar case in front of those, but there's still more books behind there. Oh, Godzilla vs. Kong, Sweet Mercy, dude. Yes, I love that movie. Much more than the first one, because I won't give away any spoilers for people who did not see the movie. But like in the advertising material, they did say one will win. Like there will be a specific winner, or the one who does win the fight. So at least I can say that. I won't tell you who because I don't want to be spoiler guy. But so good. Godzilla vs. Kong was good. Like the only thing going through my mind when I saw that movie was just, oh yeah. It was just all pure excitement and rage. I loved it. Ah, that's a good taste. I have a certain process when I drink my whiskey. I like the taste a lot of time. I like to enjoy the smell, to focus on what kind of barrel it was charred in, to focus on what hints of things they have. If there's grass, if there's vanilla, citrus, what they add in. I'm weird. I'm weird. But it's an experience drink. It's not a getting drunk drink because it's expensive. And why would you get drunk on something expensive? But yeah, Godzilla versus Kong, so good. It was basically Pacific Rim with Godzilla. All the shiny lights and the big monster action. My only thing I did not like in the movie was they don't feel as heavy and as weighty, as chunky, you know? They didn't feel as thick with two C's as they did in King of the Monsters, which they really felt heavy in. And King of the Monsters, I thought, did a good job making you feel like those monsters had some weight behind them. They were chunky. But in this one, they felt really cool, and it was faster action. They tried to keep it more Pacific Rim style, but it's the same company. One of the like I've said this in my Kaijulicious podcast. I have a podcast dedicated to giant monster movies. Something I've said time and time again on there is one movie I would always recommend to anybody is Pacific Rim because it's such a perfectly made kaiju movie. And this is basically what if they did Pacific Rim with Godzilla in it. I hear doorknob. I don't think my daughter knows how to open the door because this door is kind of sticking. Yeah, they moved a bit too quickly. That was my only real complaint about the movie. Other than that, it was fantastic. I mean, the weight was the only thing with the monsters that just wasn't there, but the rest of it was all just so cool. The attacks and all their attacks felt like they had power behind them because shiny. And I was the only person in the theater that was honestly yelling every time something happened. Like I was cheering and yelling. My wife thought I was insane. She's like, I've never seen you yell like that in a movie before. And I'm like, I know it's so good. And I've seen the Blu-ray at least 3 or 4 times since I got it. Now she's happy because I'm not going to the theater over and over again, because I went a few times to be honest. So good. And I'll knock off Pacific Rim called Atlantic Rim. Oh, Atlantic Rim is so bad. Yes, I watched it too. It's so bad. I mean, it's still not the worst kaiju movie I've ever seen. Shockingly, that one would probably go to Rago, um, King of the Monsters, because Rago is the one with the ocean-based one, where he basically is a plesiosaur almost, kind of. Plesiosaur shark, he just swims around a lot of the time, but it's just not a very entertaining movie. You want to see it though, because the director is amazing. Okay, there's backstory here. So in the 90s and in the Heisei era of kaiju movies, there was a trilogy of Gamera movies. Gamera is the giant turtle. And this trilogy, starting with Gamera of the Universe, then it was Attack of Legion, then it was Revenge of Iris. Those 3 movies are known to be the best kaiju movies ever made that use practical effects, and that still stands strong today. They are seriously the most well done kaiju movies of all time, and they're fantastic. I highly suggest you see them. And what's cool about the director of Raiga, and Raiga versus Oga, these are three like fan movies almost. They're really cheap. What's cool about those is the director of those managed to get all a bunch of the cast and crew from the Gamera movies, from the official trilogy, to help him on his movie, and they were in it. So it was a very legit feeling fan movie that America will never see because the creator of it is not an official employee of that company, and he did it as a fan movie, as a tribute, because the trilogy kind of had a cliffhanger ending. So he decided he would make a fourth movie, Gamera for Truth. And he kind of finished it in his own movie, and the official directors and everything from the Gamera movies saw it and they said, "Yeah, that's really good, and that's probably about how we would have done it." So they acknowledged it was great, and we will never get to see it. It's about 48 minutes long, I think it was. But he shows it at conventions all the time. He goes and then does a lot of showing of it in a panel, and that's the only way you can see it in Japan at a convention that he happens to attend. No other way for anyone to see it in the world. So I've never seen it. I've seen clips of it, little clips of it, but that's all I've seen, and it looked pretty good. Like the suits are spot on. The suits are really good. But the director of that fan movie is the same guy that did Raiga, King of the Monsters, then the sequel, Raigo, God of the Monsters, and then the next sequel, the number 3 in their series, um, Raiga versus Oga, which I thought was the second weakest of the series. See, Raigo sucks, but it's cool just because it's from the director and he got to make a monster movie. Raiga is amazing. If you have a drink, if you have a beer, it's so good. Oh, the name of the fan movie? You mean the Gamera one? That's called Gamera for Truth. Raigo is I'll just type it here for you and I'll say it out loud as I type it because I can't spell things out loud. Okay. Raigo is Reigo. Raiga, the second movie, is Raiga. And then the last one is Raiga versus Oga. Oga is Ohga. He did those 3 movies. And honestly, Raiga is the best of the 3, hands down. The monster fights are cool, the people are cheesy, and if you have a few drinks or if you're just with some friends laughing and having a good time, this is a great party movie. Because you're only gonna half pay attention, and that's kind of what he plans, I think. It's so bad it's good on purpose type movie. I really got sidetracked on this video, didn't I? I start talking about Godzilla and kaiju, and my mind just instantly zips there. Not sure if that's good or bad, but I'm just gonna take it as a good, because I was feeling really bad before this video, and now I'm feeling pretty cheerful because I'm talking about Godzilla. Well, those aren't technically Godzilla, but it's still great because it's giant monsters. I'm a big kaiju fan. I finally collected every single Gamera, and that's official, and not truth. And I've already collected every Godzilla movie. Finally, every single one, even the one that only has a VHS release, Godzilla 1985. It's gonna bug me forever that doesn't have any DVD release because of licensing. We need our Dr. Pepper advertisement fix. Which, if you watch a movie, you'll see that they advertise Dr. Pepper really hard. Like they'll stand right in front of the machine, and then every time there's a can, it will be pointed out with that logo. In Godzilla 1985, they really lean into that sponsor. It's so good. One of the favorite things about that movie because it's so cheesy. And there were some commercials in the 80s, I think, also with Godzilla wearing sunglasses, and it had the banner behind him advertising it. So good. So good. Oh man. I really got sidetracked, but I love it. I can't say that I didn't enjoy this. I really enjoyed being able to just kind of let loose, because it's not something I get to do very often. I don't talk to people. My job, I work in a server room. I'm alone. Like I never. Oh yeah, so you found it. There's a video, I think on eBay or on a different or on a Japanese site that has a few clips of it, but you won't ever find the whole thing. Or at least some people have, but I think it's like 48 minutes. Wait, you found it? The whole movie? Share the link. You're fully allowed to post that link here. Completely. I will completely support that. I don't care if my channel gets in trouble. Share it with the world. Or email it to me. That's fine too. My email is posted everywhere. But I need to see this. Oh, so good. That's a thing I'll set up a movie night for. Like, we'll even just on Cody. Cody. I've heard of Cody. I've never actually set up a Cody account. I really need to set up a Cody account. So someone actually managed to get it. Oh yeah, there's no official version of it. It's only going to be pirated. You can't make money off of it. So there's no official copy of it. There's nothing that's copyright infringing about downloading it because it's a fan film. Which one? Evil Zombie at Proton Mail? Let me log into that while it's recording this. I'm just gonna open it in my window over there because I have two monitors. I know how to thunk. I keep forgetting. Signing in. Signing in. Internet, be faster. Sweet mercy. I'm excited. This is gonna be a thing where I need to do. I'm not seeing it yet. I'm sure it'll happen soon. At the Evilzombie at Proton Mail? Or evilzombie123@gmail.com. One way or another, I'll sign on and find it. Because this is a thing I will dedicate time to. I would take. Oh, okay. I have like every email account. I have like 6 email accounts during this time. I was just signing into each one of them. I don't know why I have 6 email accounts. It's because I'm retarded. I'm not good with that. I keep making new accounts. Like I have a Japan Yahoo account specifically for being able to sign up to sites that are area restricted. So I'll set my VPN to Japan, and I'll be able to sign on to a different site. Or I have an encrypted account just for my YouTube stuff and all my business stuff, and then I have like 3 different work emails. I have a lot of them. I have a couple personal ones. Oh, so good. But yeah, it's because I don't know any control, and it's not good. It would be nice if I actually bothered to optimize any one email, but I have a lot of spam. It's ridiculous. The only one that doesn't get spam though, luckily, is my Proton Mail. I actually have that pretty under control. The official one for the channel, that one I actually check like 3 times a day. Ooh, Dice Druid. Sweet. Okay, no, not looking at that. I see dice and I'm like, pretty. I love dice. Dungeons and Dragons is a big hobby. Thank you. Thank you for sending that. Man, Dungeons and Dragons. Like I said, like I think it was like half an hour ago. One of the ways I avoid depression a lot of the time is a hobby or something. Sometimes I'll put something together. Like the biggest project I've done so far was making my Dungeons and Dragons table, which has like a TV built into it, and then bricks all around that, and knives and everything inside that for the display, and a glass top or a polycarbonate top over the top of it, so it's like indestructible. And it's all made from trash wood that people were throwing away. I just put it all together in a very nice table that has slide out trays and everything. And yeah, it came out beautiful. I stained it, it looks good. That was a pet project of mine that took a decent amount of time, and it was so much fun. Now the project I'm using, there's 2 projects I have going on right now to keep myself busy for whenever my wife's not here, for her the kids are busy, and I'm just kind of delving into my own mind. Then I'm trying to build something. That's a good way to kind of distract yourself. Because then you're like, oh, you're thinking about how to do it. Like I have to do this, I have to measure this, I have to go find these pieces. So I'm building an 8-foot long entertainment center. Like I'm just making it the full length of the boards. And I'm like, this is going to be good. So we'll eventually just get a giant TV to fit this, or I'll just put a projector screen and then mount one on the ceiling and then fill up the space behind it. One way or another, I'm going to fill that thing up because I have a crap ton of movies that I'm going to need displayed in a nice case because reasons. I mean, the 150 something zombie movies that I know, it's 160 something now. Zombie movies that I have in the collection, and all the kaiju movies, all the anime. I've been collecting anime since the 90s. I mean, it's all going to go into this entertainment center, and I'm really excited. Oh, and all the games. I don't know if I have enough space for all the games. I mean, I've been collecting since Atari. I have to think of another shelf. I have to make another thing that looks like a game controller. Can you imagine making a shelf that opens up and it looks like a NES controller? It opens up and then there's all your games. Oh, that'd be cool. If only I wasn't colorblind and I knew how to paint. Then I would totally do that. Maybe it could just be like a wooden looking NES controller, right? Okay. That's a good taste and smell and all that. It's very enjoyable. That's my thing. Oh man, have you guys been reading the new Dragon Ball issues recently? There's been 4 comics that I've been keeping up with. I've been, of course, keeping up with Dragon Ball Super, and then I've been reading Hajime no Ippo, or Ippo the Fighting, I guess, the Fighting Ippo. It's a boxing comic. Oh, thanks, dude. It's a boxing comic. It's really good, and it's been going on since Tyson was popular. So they're still making it. It's a very long running one, but it's very good. So I'm catching up on that. I've been reading one called Mashal. Mashal is like magic and muscle. It's like, what if Rock Lee went to the Harry Potter universe? That's basically what Mashal is. And oh, you have to read it. It's so ridiculously good because he can defeat spells by punching them. And I love it. There's nothing wrong with this comic. And there was one other one with us. Oh yeah, My Hero Academia. I've been reading that recently too. Last night a new issue popped up. So stoked about that. Right now it really feels like they're wrapping up the series. I mean, it feels like final arc kind of stuff. So I'm excited. Like the storyline's pushing to where he's progressed so much, and it feels like it's going to end soon. I don't want it to, but at the same time, I do, so that I can buy the entire manga series and then have it all. That's kind of a goal. I mean, there were 500 issues of Naruto when it finally ended, and we're just gonna forget the existence of Boruto because who gives a crap? It's all new generation stuff, and I'd like to think that it just ended when it ended because I'm a douchebag. Nah. It's honestly just not as good as Dragon Ball, and it shouldn't deserve to keep living. I'm a little biased. I'm a little tiny bit biased. And nothing is ever going to be as long running as One Piece. Thank goodness. I have not seen One Piece yet because I always wait for something to be close to finished before I start watching it. Except for Dragon Ball, I just kept up with that. I know, not very smart move. But I have not seen One Piece yet. Thanks, dude, for sending that. I've not watched One Piece yet at all, just because it's not anywhere near the ending, I bet, and I have no idea when it's gonna end. But when it does, then I'll binge watch that sucker all the way through to the end. I will not stop. I will not rest until I've seen everything. It's not very healthy, but it takes me like 2 weeks, 3 weeks to go all the way through everything that exists of Dragon Ball, and or of Case Closed to try and catch up. I like to sit and binge watch my shows. Like my kids will watch it with me, and we just have a good time of it. If I watch Godzilla, I start at 1954 and work my way up. Like my kids have seen 20 Godzilla, 22 Godzilla movies. My kids have seen 22 Godzilla movies so far. Oh yeah, I got a VPN. I use NordVPN. There's a lot of different versions out there. It doesn't really matter which one you do. I personally like Nord. I've been using it for a few years now. Not sponsored at all. I just like it. I just deal with the $12 a month because it's worth it. It works well for me and it's good for my purposes, which I won't state here because I like my security. That's it. That's my purpose, security. Also, you should check out Key Scrambler. It's a free program, and it will scramble. It will show a mixed up version of whatever keys and symbols and all that whenever you type something. So if you type like a D on the keyboard, then it'll show like a plus sign. It always changes it. It always scrambles it. And that's a free program. I think they have a pay one. I don't remember. But yeah, Key Scrambler is a good free one. I don't know if it's on other platforms. I know it's on Windows. I have to check on my Linux OS. I don't have a Mac, so I can't tell you on that honestly. Man, maybe I'll just set up a dedicated OS for Kodi. That'd be pretty good. If I set up a maybe I can set up a Cubes OS version of it. Cubes is a very complicated version of Linux where every program opens its own virtual operating system. If you're really paranoid like me, so I can open up a virtual operating system in Cubes, and then in one of those open up Kodi, and then that will open up its own operating system just for Kodi. And then maybe I can run a VPN in the background on that just to reroute everything a little bit. Oh, that'd be so good. I I'm a little bit of a geek because that just sounds exciting to me. The complexity is wonderful. I need to do that. I have a few projects in mind that I have in the future. One thing I really want to do in the future project after I'm done building furniture, and after I'm done putting up the soundproofing for the wall and building my sound panels for the front of me with house insulation. It's half of that project. I just need to buy the insulation. Another project I have is to find a Game Boy that doesn't work. Damn it, Nintendo, for making things that never die. Like honestly, their stuff never dies. I got this at a swap meet for like $3, and yeah, I was like, oh sweet, now I can make a retro game system using the Game Boy's body, and then it worked perfectly. There's no problems with it, so I can't do it. I can't bring myself. You can you can do that with a Fire TV. You can load NordVPN on it. Sweet. I have a Roku. I'll have to see if I can hack it and get it to work on there. Or I'll just get a Fire TV. That's cool. But I have multiple operating systems on my drives here, so I might just load into one of them. But yeah, when I have a Raspberry Pi 3B. Maybe I should get a 4 sometime. But what I want to do is I want to basically gut the insides of a broken Game Boy, not this one because it works, and this is how I play Super Mario Land and Gamera and Metroid and Tetris and all the good games. This is how I play. I play a lot of retro games on my Game Boy. Like it's a real original Game Boy. I got the box up there too. That was a lucky find to swap me. I honestly didn't think it was going to work because it was so cheap and sitting out in the sun. I don't know how long it has it on the sun because it worked fine. But I wanted to find a broken one so that I could gut it and then make myself an emulator system using either Batocera or RetroPie. And then I'd have like 14,000 games or whatever running on this little handheld. And that would just be wonderful to me. But I haven't found one that doesn't work because it's hard. Their stuff doesn't break because they make it to withstand the wrath and fury of children, which is probably a good thing. My Wii has honestly been through a lot more abuse than ever should have been through just because I have 2 kids. Like, and the Wii remote just goes flying, it just happens. But luckily it'll never die. Your TV will die before the remote. Oh, I played Mario Wii. Which one? My daughter's favorite game right now is Super Mario Bros. U on the Wii U. I played which one? No, that was on the GameCube. I kept on thinking Super Mario Sunshine, but that was on GameCube, I think. There was new Super Mario Brothers. Was that on the Wii? No, I haven't played that one yet. I really need to get that. I have a stack about that tall of Wii games, and a stack about that tall of Wii U games. Several of the games are Sonic. I love Sonic. And Resident Evil. Like I have all the Resident Evil games on the GameCube and whatever was released for them on the Wii. Yeah, you almost broke a CRT with the Wii remote? Oh my goodness. Those things had an inch thick solid screen. I used to take old broken CRTs down to a riverbed. I grew up living in the middle of nowhere. Like the middle of nowhere would be an achievement. I grew up near farmland and all kinds of stuff. Like we had horses, geese, we had pigs, all kinds of stuff, chickens. There was a riverbed just a couple miles away from where I grew up, and we would go shooting over there. It was just on the other side of the border in the next county, so it was legal to go shooting. Like we could just walk to the next county. So take old TVs, and when we shot them, it took a few shots to take them down because they had glass that was an inch thick, and some of them were really tough. So it was definitely a nice, fun target. If you had anything to launch it, that was even better. But sometimes we would just go set everything up and props out there, and then we would just unload on it with 100 rounds. Like each of us would take 100 rounds. I had my Mossberg 500A and a Magtech 199 and a Winchester 1000X. I can't remember. It was a 1200X. It was a semi-automatic Winchester shotgun, 12 gauge. I like guns. Yeah, my dad was a hillbilly. I love guns. It's just how it is. I grew up in a desert with not much to do. I've had a gun since I was like 15. No, I was 16 when they got me a gun. Yeah, I remember that. Had pictures of that. I saw those recently. And I was like, oh, I looked really young. I realize I'm getting wrinkles now. I was have you seen the pictures of people? There's a website. I think it was called We Have a Problem, like with the WII We, and it's just a website dedicated to showing TVs that sacrificed their lives for the sake of video games. Like it shows a Wii remote stuck inside a TV, like halfway into the actual panel for it. It's ridiculous, and it's like, oh man, you were playing baseball, weren't you? You were playing Wii Sports. It's just ridiculous how much they murdered this TV just because they're playing Wii Sports, and it was a harsh murder. Like that TV didn't stand a chance. But that was called We Have a Problem. I think that was a site that popped up in what, like 2005, 2006, or something. No, when did the Wii come out? Oh crap! It might have been 2008 when I saw the site pop up. But yeah, that was hilarious when that happened. You're playing Wii Sports. Wii Sports is responsible for the TV industry just taking off because so many people had to buy a new TV because they just absolutely murdered their monitors or their spouses from just chucking a Wii remote at them. Because you can bet the Wii remote's not going to be the thing that breaks first. It's made by Nintendo. It's going to survive forever. just like my old Game Boy. This thing will never die. This will outlive me. Pretty sure my Atari is going to outlive me. I swear, it's never going to die. Old video games will outlive everything we put them to test against. I love it, but new stuff always breaks so much. What the heck? It's ridiculous how easily all the new stuff breaks. Like desktop computers aside, all new electronics pretty much are just made like shit, and they just break down after a couple of years. I have a process for drinking. Ever been rickrolled? Yes, back when it started. And then I rickrolled several people. I installed an app where if someone where I could text people, and then if they click on something, then it would rickroll them. Or we went through a whole long Discord thing where we sent someone on a scavenger hunt in the. Let's see. I don't know if you like Dungeons and Dragons or if you listen to the Make Believe Heroes podcast, but a few of us went on set up on their Discord, Make Believe Heroes podcast Discord, a long kind of side quest where if they went through like 9 different layers of meta gaming there, and they kept following this lore trail, then they would eventually get to the final part where it would reveal the answer to what they're looking for, and it was actually just a rickroll. I tinted the color of it to match the color of a character that we were referencing in it, and we just had the rickroll video, and it was great. He gave us all props for it. We were all wondering if he was just going to depatronize us or depatron us, or if he was just going to enjoy it. And he enjoyed it, so yay! Got away with it. Oh, we used to do this in college too. We used to hack into the server from one of the student computers, and then we would just push out a message to everybody, and then kind of play that sound a little bit. The song. We would play that song over all the computers. It was fun. We also would push out just random messages to people. One of my favorite pranks in college, I would go into the lab in the early morning, so I'd get there like 5:30, and then I would underclock the CPU multiplier on all the computers in the lab. So instead of whatever multiplier it was set on, it would just be on a pure times 1, and then those computers would be really slow for that day. And they had no idea what happened because nobody broke anything. Nothing was broken. All they had to do was just go to the BIOS and turn the multiplier up because it'd speed up again. And I would underclock the RAM a little bit. Most of them didn't know what the different numbers mean. It was so good. I know I wasn't very nice, but it was hilarious, and I enjoyed being a little bit mean, but also ping the server a few thousand times in a minute, and then see if it really bogged down the system. We'd see how fast we could do it until it bogged everything down from how many computers. If we pinged it all at once, we would do a storm on this thing. It was great. We were terrible people. This is what happens when you give a bunch of programming majors a little too much free time and access to all the computers. Oh, so good. We had some fun times. Oh, which one? I mean, underclocking the CPUs, that's just in the BIOS. It's a setting. On most Intel processors, that's just something you can do. You can control everything. You can control how fast everything goes right from your BIOS. Turn on the computer, press either F2 or delete, depends on the motherboard, and then you have access to everything. And then you control all your hardware. That's how you overclock your video cards and all that. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, we had a little bit of free time, and that's where I learned if you ever get stuck on some homework and you need help with programming, buy a pizza and invite people over, and be like, "Oh, guys, also I'm stuck on this. Do you know this problem?" Oh no, the BIOS part you have to go in person to. If you want to do stuff remotely, yeah, that's a whole nother process. But I had a friend that was an actual he actually made viruses. So, not a good thing. I'm not advertising that that's the thing you should get into because you'll end up on a watch list. But I had a friend that did it. One of my favorite viruses that he did was it would just scramble all the keys in your keyboard. It would reassign them. So one time he just put all of them in alphabetical order from top to bottom. So from top over from left to right, and it would just go. He put all the keys in your keyboard in alphabetical order, and it pissed off so many people because they're all nothing was broken in your computer, but all your keys were reassigned, and it all means something else. Oh, it really confused some people. That was good. That was terrible, but good. Yeah, he made a few simple viruses like that. Also, I never knew any other really skinny person, right? Yeah, they're gonna knock on the door at some point. I'm gonna be on a list right now. They're all watching. Hopefully, some of them will jump onto the live stream and share it with some of the other people in the their organization. Hey, free publicity. No publicity is bad publicity, unless it's just really bad. No, but college is fun. If you're still in school, then I highly suggest college. College is great. That's when you meet everybody that's into the exact same crap as you. And if you're all into being just devious nerds like I was, that's the best because we all get into big trouble. And it was good. Nobody knew how to prove anything. Yep. Oh, so good. Yeah, we had some fun times on that. I used to bring a projector in, and we would just whenever there was a room that was closed, and we would just buy a pizza and invite like 15 people over, and we'd have a game. We would just set up a Smash Brothers melee on one of the walls or brawl. We would just take up a wall in an entire classroom, and it would just have like a 200, 300-inch screen for just playing Smash Brothers. It was great. We had some good times. Yeah, that's something I do miss. Being around a lot of like-minded people. Oh yeah, I was the leader of, and I realize I'm getting old now, and I'm going back into the back in my day stories, which is a little concerning. Makes me feel a little aged. Oh yeah, we did a bunch of good stuff. Like I was the leader of the anime club. It was an anime and game club. We kind of made it a hybrid. So sometimes we do competitions. Like I brought in like a 16 port network switch one time, and I hooked up all the lab computers onto one local area network. I just did it before anyone else got there in the day, and there was no classes in that room. And then I installed Unreal Tournament 2004 on every computer in the lab. Yep. We had a tournament. I brought a copy of Crisis, and I was like, whoever wins this match gets this game. Go for it. And that got us a lot of new members. It was fun. I had like a $3 entry fee or something for everybody, and that basically paid for the game. That's what it was for. But we had some good times. Or we had zombie movie marathon day, or just binge watch Neon Genesis Evangelion. So good. Yeah, we got into a little trouble other than that. Mostly we just geeked out and had our own fun. It was good. might have been against school rules, but they didn't care because it got more people interested in being at the campus. I mean, I had the most active club on campus, so they couldn't really complain. I had more consecutively active members than any other club, even the associated student body. So they couldn't say crap to me. I had more people involved in everything. Like they would all come to their classes when they're people that normally skip. Because I was like, hey, after lunch, we're doing this. So they came that day. Yeah, I never got in trouble for anything. I was pretty happy about that accomplishment. Oh man, DDR, Dance Revolution. Did that a lot too. I might be on tomorrow actually. In the evening, afternoon, I'll probably be on there. I actually might live stream some Doom because I've been playing through some more of the Ancient Gods DLC, and because I'd never actually gone through it all the way, and now I am. And yeah, I'll probably be live streaming it tomorrow. I think that'll be fun. I need to live stream some Doom because I love Doom, and that is kind of my vent. All right, dude. Doom is the best. I love Doom. Anyways, thanks for watching, dude. I appreciate you being here. Um, Other person that is here, if it is, let me scroll back up. Wow, we actually had a big conversation here. Mr. Twinkie, if it's you that's still on here, or if it's someone else, thank you also for watching because you're amazing. Anyways, good night, Nicolhydra. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. I like it when I have someone to talk to. I would have done this full thing even if I was just talking to myself because then it's just like talking to myself. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. I'm probably going to go now because I'm going to go ahead and I'm probably going to make some grilled cheese sandwiches for my girls or some quesadillas. They might like some quesadillas. Unless they don't, then grilled cheese sandwiches because it's easy. No kid hates a grilled cheese, right? I think we have sourdough bread and so good. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for being amazing. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. I really needed this tonight. I just needed to be able to talk. I needed to be able to vent, and that's a big thing to me. This is basically why this channel exists. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Bye.